if you want to build a personal brand online, you cannot let fear of judgment stop you. So in this video, I will show you why caring too much about what strangers think is quietly killing your growth. All right, so the thing I really want to address here is that, most people are not scared of posting. Most people are scared of being judged. And why this is a problem is because you have this huge upside, as I've talked many times on this channel before, as you posting more content, providing value for your potential clients, aka your target audience, like that will over time bring you a lot more leads, and especially very warm ones. So if you have on the other side, you have all the things you really want in your career as a real estate agent. You want to be able to charge more, what you're really worth as an agent. You want to have more warm leads in your life, so every single client meeting you go on is as hot as possible. And you also want to make sure that you don't have to chase and hustle and really just cold call and do a lot of uncomfortable things that really gives you crap results, to be honest. So that's why this fear of being judged is like an obstacle that you just have to push through and tackle in order to really get the things you want. And the truth here is really, as I said, like, you are afraid of judgment from strangers on the internet. But the reality is, what I've learned myself is that most people don't really care, and most people are really focused on themselves. And that sounds a little bit harsh, but that's really the reality. And the thing that I think a lot of people are also afraid of is getting rude comments, really getting hate on the internet, because they're seeing these big influencers are getting so much hate. So that's why I really wanted to make this video as well, to address that. Hate when you make content in this way that I educate on my channel, like, it's so rare. As I said, like, in 2 years, me posting a lot of YouTube videos, a lot of LinkedIn content, even on Instagram, I think I've only gotten like 2 rude comments in 2 years. So like, I think a lot of you watching right now is like, well, okay, I can breathe out a little bit, because if I, as the time of this recording, I have like 8,500 followers on LinkedIn. I have like 2,100 ish on Instagram. I have a lot of people that are watching this on YouTube as well. At least if you look at it in a quality manner. And I've got like 2 rude comments. So I think that's kind of like not a bad scenario to be in. And I really want you to also see this as the cost. So okay, what's the cost that you have to pay in order to really get the things you want in your life as a real estate agent? So first of all, I think it's very important to understand, like, you cannot let strangers stop you from building the life you want. Like, I really want that to sink in, because you want to have more leads, you want to have more money, you want to have more freedom. And if the fear of what strangers on the internet that doesn't even give a shit about you are thinking, like, if you really dig deep into that, like, that's not, that's just something we have to push through and really, don't let that be the case anymore. And most important as well, like, the solution here, I just really want you to, like, post anyway. And as I said, like, why I really are doubling down, I'm making 1 video every single week. I'm publishing shit here on YouTube. I'm doing it on my free time, because I really believe so much in the way social media can be used for real estate agents. And I know that, bear with me and mark my words, like, the winning agents for the coming years from, now and forward, the winners is going to be the ones that use social media as a business tool and use it in the right way. So as you know by now, if you watch more of my videos on the channel, you know that I'm not sitting here and preaching that you should dance on TikTok to get a lot of views, or slap someone in the face, because there are so many crazy strategies out there that are getting insane amount of views. But the problem is, like, that's entertainment. and entertainment is not bringing you any warm leads, any money in your bank account as an agent. So that's why, you know, the strategy I'm sharing, and, you know, the things I'm educating on here, like, you know, it's like you were doing this in a very professional way. And the thing I really want to talk about as well, like, you know, well, okay, what happens if I get a rude comment? So I see this as one simple strategy for tackling this if it happens. So first of all, on Instagram they have like a very good button, which is like, you know, you can click like restrict. So I have like a zero tolerance for haters on the internet. So that's why if something happens, you click on the comment, you click on restrict that person, and then you move on with your life. And what that really means is that if someone comments something rude on your, you know, on a comment or on a post that you have made, when you click restrict, what happens is that that person moving forward, they think that they can still like, comment, you know, with you, and even, you know, send DMs and stuff, but you won't see them and not anyone else. So it's like from the time you click on the restrict button and moving forward, they're like a ghost on your profile. So they don't see it, but no one else sees it. So it's a very smart thing. So it's a very, what should I say, smart move to kind of like block them in a way where they really don't know. And the thing why I really think this is important is because, like, you really have to protect your time, and, you know, spending it arguing with people on the internet that don't really dig your vibe, like, there's no good scenario coming from that. It doesn't matter if you're right, you know, the other person won't agree. So it's like, if something I've learned, you know, in my 28 years on this planet is that, you know, arguing with people that, you know, don't dig your vibe, they don't see your way of seeing things, and there's zero best case scenario for you spending time on trying to argue with that person. Like, just let it go. It's really such a waste of your time. You could really be doing a lot of, you know, better things with your time than doing that. So the mindset I really wanted to be having moving forward is this: like, the fear of judgment is really the price of entry. So even me, you know, sitting here making this video, and, you know, looking back at, you know, the first videos I did, which was some kind of vlogs, I did that for a long period of time. You know, of course I thought it was like a little bit cringe, and you know, I was, you know, honestly, like, a little bit afraid of, you know, what would my colleagues says, you know, what would my bosses says, and things like that. You know, that's just part of being human. Like, when you have people in your life that you really care about, of course, like, if they see what you're posting, and it's like, you know, it's a very kind of like vulnerable thing to sit here and speak to the camera and sharing, you know, the things, you know, to an audience of yours, like, that's a very intimate thing. So of course, like, you're going to have a million thoughts in your head, but you really got to understand, like, that's the price of entry. And there's so many people out there in the world that want to do the exact same thing that you want, as in building a personal brand, maybe making YouTube videos and things like that, but they're not doing it because they're too afraid of judgment of other people. And if you're watching this right now and you're watched so far, you know, this far in this video, like, please don't be that person. You know, that's really what I have to say. Because let me do this. Because if you really look at things, as we can see here, like, you really just have to pay the price, and, you know, ideally, like, do it as fast as you can, and, you know, just build things anyway, because, like, you cannot let people that don't even know you control your life. Like, that's a really bad place to be at. So, like, just, if there's like one thing that I want you to take away from this video, is that, you know, there's such a big opportunity in building a personal brand and getting a lot of leads. And honestly, like, every single thing that you're not currently having in your career is probably on the other side of you, you know, posting things on social media in the right way. So letting fear of being afraid or whatever it might be to, like, be in the way of that, you know, it's just up to you. Like, for me, I'm willing to pay the price every single day and every single week. If, you know, I might get a rude comment, or if someone else out there might think what I'm doing is cringe, like, you know, I bite the bullet, I will do it anyway, because I know in the future, you know, I will be one of the winners, And if you have this mindset yourself, you will be one of the winners as well. And now you must watch this video because I talk about one very important thing, and that is why you should not chase virality on social media. You should be chasing clients instead. And I talk about the way you should structure things so you increase the likelihood of you getting more clients in your life, more leads, and making more money. And that's not, going viral.